Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. This week is the third in my star series. This week's top 10 list is featured from Ontario 100. He suggested I should do stars. I broke it up into three separate lists because there was just so many out there. This week's top 10 is the top 10 star notes you can find in circulation. So, with these top 10, let's kick it off with the first note here. What do I have? This one. Now, I don't have the actual star notes, but I've got everything but the star. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This particular one, this is a 2003 D. 2003, there's the series D, meaning that this is from Cleveland. Now, the 2003 D, and it's also from Washington. You notice there's no FW there. So it is a Washington printed 2003 D. Now this one is not the star, but if this was the star, that was a 2003 Washington from Cleveland. That note, which obviously you can still find in circulation today, that note is going to run roughly $45 if it grades out at about a 40. If you've got one that's pristine, you're talking $125. That particular star note, they only printed 320,000 of those, so there aren't too many out there, but I'm sure there are some. So keep your eyes peeled for that. A 2003 D star note. Like I said, you're talking 45 on the low side, 125 if it's in really nice shape. That's number 10 on my list. Number 9. Number 9, this is from 2001. So yeah, it's a little older, but still a note you can find in circulation. This is a 2001, and it's got the H on it. H, when you zoom in on here, that's St. Louis. So a 2001 St. Louis, and you'll notice it is also Washington, D.C., because it does not have FW. If it had FW over here, that would be Fort Worth, Texas. So if you find a 2001 H that has a star on it, that particular note is a one of 640,000. Those go for around $50 in what is it, EF40? Yeah, EF40, those go for 50. And if you find one that's gem, they are roughly $115. So yeah, those can be found in circulation. Just another one to write down to keep your eyes on. That's number 9. Number 8. Number 8. I've got a 2009. Now this one is from Fort Worth. You can see the FW right there. 2009 Fort Worth, and it's a Dallas note. The Dallas note has the K. So if you have a K 2009 Fort Worth note, that's a star, not an I. If yours has the star, that particular note, we are talking, only 640,000 of those made. And those would run about $75. 125 if it was perfect, but 75 if it was only a 40. So yeah, make sure to check for those 2009s. I mean, that's not even that old. 2009 Dallas, the Fort Worth run. That's number 8. Number 7 on the list. Number 7, we're going a little bit older. This one's 1993. Now you're looking for a 1993. You're looking for C, and that's Philadelphia. So if you find a 1993 C that was printed in Washington, that of course would have to have a star note, a star on there. If you find that particular note, you're also talking a note worth roughly $75. If it's perfect, you're talking 185. They only made 640,000 of those, and yeah, you could find one of those in circulation. Just another reason why I'm always searching notes, because the stuff is out there. So that's number 7. Number 6. Number 6 is the oldest note in the group. This is a 1969. Now, mine is a D. Now, the note you're looking for is going to be a 69C. Okay, this one's a D because this one is a star note. So, no, I don't have this one. The 1969C that has the L designation. L would be San Francisco. There it is, San Francisco. And if yours had 69C from San Francisco with the star, that note They made 2.4 million of those, believe it or not. That's quite a few. That's almost the highest print run on here. But they're still worth $125, even as a 40. Now, if you've got one that's perfect, you're talking $225. So, yeah, they can still be found in circulation. $125 for a star note, not too bad. That's number 6 on my list. Number 5. Number 5 is from 1985. Now, once again, we're talking from St. Louis, H. 1985 from St. Louis, of course, with the star. Now, if you come up with an 85 from St. Louis, they only made 640,000 of those particular notes. And these are going to run about $225. $225 if it's in 40. If it's better than that, you could be talking a lot more. You could be talking $750 if it's mint. So yeah, perfect $750. If it's a 40, you're talking $225. Once again, that's 1985 H. $225. Number 4 on the list. This one has the largest print run of all. This particular one is a 1988, and it's an F. F is Atlanta, so an 88 from Atlanta. If it was a star note, they printed 3.8 million of these, so that's a lot of notes. So yeah, I'm sure these are out there. Now it's 88, not 88A. Keep that in mind. So if you find a 1988 F star note, you are talking a note one of 3.8 million. Like I said, that's quite a bit. It still runs about $225 if it grades out at a 40. If it's perfect, now you're talking $800. So yeah, not a bad note to stumble across. If that doesn't give you a reason to search straps, I don't know what does. That's number 4. Number 3 on the list. All right, let me just say this one more time. Number 3 on my top star notes that you can find in circulation is from 2009. Yes, you can find these in circulation, and yes, you can find these in good condition. This is a 2009. It's from Fort Worth, FW. It was from the St. Louis Bank, so you've got H here. So the 2009 H with the FW, if it's got all that and it's a star note, you are talking about a note that, if it grades at a 40, runs about, well, it's one of only 320,000, and it would be $375. If it was perfect, you're talking $675. So double check your star notes. Do you have a 2009 from St. Louis marked Fort Worth with a star? If you do, it's one of 320,000, and you are sitting on $375. $675 if it's perfect. Number 2 on the list, the second oldest note I have on the list. This one is from 1981. 1981A specifically, and this would be a K note. That would be Dallas. So 1981A, looking for a K, and obviously looking for a star. If you've got all of those things, you have a note that's one of only 640,000, and will book out in a 40 condition at roughly $400. If it's perfect, you're talking $1,100. Yeah, these are out there in circulation. So check, recheck, double check your stack of stars. See if you've got one of these in your collection, because that's an easy way to turn $1 into $1,100. That's number 2 on the list. Number 1. Number 1 is a 1988A. Now, if 1988A rings a bell, that's because those were the years that the web press notes came out. This particular one is not a web press note, but it's got everything else. 1988A, you're looking for F, which is Atlanta. So an 88A from Atlanta, and then you want to look to see if it's a web press. And you'll know that because all it will have is one of these little digits, no letter, just one digit there. On the other side of the note, you can see it's got the location here. On a web note, there is no location, so it'll just have this 6. It's not going to have any of this. So 88A, F, one little digit here, and of course a star. If your note matches all of that, you are talking about a note that is roughly $850. A star note for $850 from 1988A. Granted, it's a web note, it's a little tougher to find, but if it's perfect, that price jumps up to $1,850. $1,850 for a web note that's got a star from 1988A. You're looking for those Atlanta notes. So that's what I've got for you, the top 10 star notes that you can find in circulation. All of the notes that I mentioned, I'm sure are still lurking out there in circulation. I know a lot of you guys are out there checking with mycurrencycollection.com to find out the rarity of your star notes. There are other contributing factors that make them rare. Not only are you talking about the number of print runs, but you're talking the total print run, the distribution. There's all kinds of other things. That's why these particular notes go for what they go for. I'm not saying every star note goes for that kind of money, and I'm not even saying every rare star note goes for this kind of money, but these particular notes that I just talked about, they do for those reasons. There was an extremely small print run, and probably only one print run that was a short run. So that's what I've got for you guys this week. Please enjoy your currency hunts. Please go through your own stars and see if you've got any of those notes. Go ahead and make a list of these so you've got something to look for. These are not the only star notes that are valuable. These are simply the most valuable ones that you are likely to find in circulation. If you've got a star note that didn't make this list, that doesn't mean it's not valuable. It just means that it's not in the top 10. Guys, thank you very much for watching. And Ontario 100, once again, thank you for putting all of this in me and making me do all this stuff, because I learned a ton, and hopefully you guys did too. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll talk to you later.